So I want to take a look at some comments from Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley in his press conference yesterday. He talked about the challenges of trying to stop Justin Jefferson and the Minnesota Vikings offense. And I'll also touch on an interesting quote he had to share about Packers' new safety they brought in this offseason, Xavier McKinney. So first off here we have from Hafley, you've got to know where he is, talking about Justin Jefferson. You have to pick and choose times to scheme around him. You can't just scheme around him the whole game. They have other really good players too. They're running the ball really well too. So if you just worry about him all game, then you're going to look down and they're going to beat you up in the running game. I think that's what they've done such a good job of this year. Both coaching and playing, they can do both. And as he mentioned, it's not like Justin Jefferson is the only talented player on this Vikings offense. Of course, we all know how talented Aaron Jones is, and he'll be making his return to Green Bay and Lambeau Field. But the Packers definitely, I think the focal point has to be Justin Jefferson because he is one of the best wide receivers in the league. And honestly, outside of the 2022 game early in the season when Joe Barry was here, the Packers have done a somewhat good job of containing Justin Jefferson when Jair has been healthy. And now the question is for this game, will Jair be healthy? The Friday injury report came out, and Jair is questionable to play. Carrington Valentine, other corner, doubtful to play. And so if you don't have your top-tier corner coming into this game against Justin Jefferson, that's definitely a problem. So let's just hope that Jair is able to go Sunday, which we'll just have to wait and see. Then here's another quote from Hafley. It's our job to put our best players in a position to make plays. So if it's our job to put our best players on their best players, then we need to figure out how to do that. I mean, I'm not just going to walk into a game and say the scheme is just strong enough to stop that great player. That's just not how I think. We got to figure out how to stop their best players each week, and if that means doing something a little bit different, then it's our job to do that. And I like seeing this quote from Jeff Hafley just because you see his willingness to adapt, and even if he has to go away from maybe what he would typically do with his scheme, he's willing to do it if they need to find a different kind of way to stop some of these top-tier players in the NFL. And I believe this question was asked and brought up because, you look at Joe Barry in that first matchup, I think in 2022 with Jair there in that first game, the Packers weren't really having Jair follow Justin Jefferson. And if I remember correctly, the reason Joe Barry gave for not doing that was because their scheme didn't necessarily allow it, and where, if you can't just send one guy to follow another player the whole game because of the way the scheme operated. And I think that's why this question was asked in the way it was. And so it's cool to see that Hafley is willing to adapt and willing to switch things up, and if he needs to put his best player on their best guy, he's going to do it. And so we'll see if that's the plan for Sunday. I would expect it would be, if Jair is healthy, to have him shadowing Justin Jefferson. And I read that quote from Xavier McKinney from that Forbes article, and it sounded like the plan is for Jair to probably, follow Justin Jefferson most of the game. So if he's healthy, it sounds like that's what'll happen. But regardless, it is going to be a very fun matchup. It's great to see, top-tier corners, top-tier wide receivers face off against each other and see who can win the performance overall. And then here's the final quote I'll share, and it's on Xavier McKinney. Jeff Hafley said this is shared in a Bill Huber Sports Illustrated article. Hafley says, he's constantly texting me questions. We're going back and forth even when we're not here in the building. He's in my office early in the morning wanting to go over the game plan before we even give out the game plan. He's watching extra tape. He's studying it. That's what you get when you're that talented and you work that hard. You get on the field. It's not luck. His preparation has met his opportunity, and he's taken off with it. So I think we knew coming into Green Bay the talent that Xavier McKinney had. He had been, one of the best one of the best safeties in the league. And so to hear about his work ethic and how he prepares and his, sort of how he focuses on the film study, Hafley really, sort of sharing, more insights into the kind of player, the kind of leader Xavier McKinney is. And when you have one of your best defensive players, putting in this kind of effort, I would assume it inspires the rest of the guys to put in similar effort. And it's not just like Xavier McKinney's talent is carrying him. Obviously that helps, but it's his preparation as well, which Hafley brought up. And he said that, watching some of the tape back, when you look at the quarterback, throwing some of these deep balls, Xavier McKinney is starting to move towards the target the quarterback has, like before the ball's even thrown, because of his preparation and his ability to, figure out where things are going, even slightly before it happens. So it's great to have Xavier here. He's been a big impact on this defense so far in 2024 with 3 interceptions in 3 games, and so hopefully that will continue this week against the Minnesota Vikings. If you guys want to see my video, I have a second channel where I cover the NFL, other teams beside the Packers. I touched on the Cowboys last night. You can watch that video right here. And if you haven't checked out my Packers versus Vikings prediction video, just click on my channel. I posted it yesterday, so feel free to watch that one as well. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.